Alright, we're gonna go ahead and knock out this third one, and this is we're gonna attempt this a little bit different from the other two. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna select these. As you can see, I'm in my front viewport. I'm just gonna right click, hide unselected. So we're only dealing with this one right here. Alright, so back to our spline tool. Now, I figured after 3 of these that you've done by today, you should get the hang of this. So I'm going back to my line tool here. Alright, I'm going to zoom in slightly. Now in this case, we're not going to build the inside of the vase because it's a closed top, as you can see here. These two we had the openings. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and let me set this up properly. I'll probably have to build these in a couple lines if it breaks off. So I'm going to start here, shift drag, about right here. Let's go here. I'm going to say, I don't know, right there. Click. 1, 2. Right here's got a nice little lip right there. So probably go here. Up here. This one's a little detailed. And like I said, I'm going to break it off right here. Alright, so let's go ahead and continue our next line. And let's say right there. Up here, click. I want to click here. And then right there. I'm going to stop it right there. We don't need to build the inside. Alright, so far we got 2 lines now. I'm going to go ahead and take the first one. I'm going to go to modify, and then we're going to attach it now to the second one. So I'm going to hit attach button, mouse over to the second spline until I see the mouse or the cursor change, then I'm going to attach it. Alright, now we know there's a broken line in between there somewhere, so it's right there, I believe. So if I hit my vertex, let me click on my move tool here. I believe it's that one. So if I click it, yep, it's broken off. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight both of them like that. And then make sure you fuse it, then weld it. Alright, now let's work on our details here. So I'm going to zoom in. You know what? I'm going to right click here. I'm going to right click on that. I'm highlighting that vert. We're going to click smooth. I'll probably tuck this down just a bit. Move that over. Alright, that looks pretty good here. We can actually fillet that. Let me find my fillet tool right here. Something like that. Right here we could probably, I may, let's see. I guess we could leave that. I don't want to smooth it. If I smooth it, it might. I guess we could smooth that right there. This part right here I'll leave though. We're going to bring this one down slightly right there. And then I can right click this and smooth that. Probably bring that down just like that. Alright, let's go ahead and fillet this little guy. Something like that. And then, I'll probably just bring these out a bit. Maybe bring that back out. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and we can probably smooth this. I don't need to fillet everything, so. Alright, that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to smooth this guy right here. Smooth. To give that slight look right there. Alright, let's work our way down. Let's click here, right click. I'm going to smooth. I'm going to raise that up just a bit. That looks pretty good. Alright, I'm going to come down here and I'm probably going to, let's see, I'm trying to look at that. No, that looks fine. We can probably just, let me smooth that. Raise that up a bit. Alright, here I'm going to go ahead and, I can possibly smooth it. And then raise this up. Nah, you know what, I'm going to control Z. We're going to fillet that slightly. Just like that. And I'll probably grab all these and just bring them back a bit. Alright, here I'm going to grab this. I'm going to smooth this. Hold this down. And then let's go ahead and grab this. Smooth that. Bring that up there. Then here, it looks like, I'm going to actually use the Bezier I'm going to click that here. I'm going to highlight that. Right click it, and we're going to go Bezier corner. And then I might do something, and I'm going to grab that Bezier handle. Just something like that. Like, it's always good to, you know, explore each and every one of these. Alright, so we'll probably, yeah, maybe I'll do it here. Bezier corner. Just raise that just a bit. And then, let's tuck this back slightly. So I'm going to make sure that's straight. And then I'm going to grab these and fillet these two. Slightly, just like that. Looks pretty good. Alright, now let's go ahead and click our line. Here, I'm going to make it yellow again so you can see it. I'll click our line, drop down our lathe modifier on it. Alright, and of course we have to go to our access point. Scoot this back slightly. Let's make sure we go to our perspective here, which I'm Alt-W to get out. Alright, and then these are flipped in inside out, so I'm going to go ahead and flip the, not flip weld the core, but flip the normals there. Alright, and then you know what, I'm going to lift this access point up just a bit up here so I can zoom up on this guy. And what I don't want to see is overlapping like what we did right there on the top. See how it's overlapped? So I'm going to bring that out just slightly and then flip it again. There we go. You don't want to weld, you know, you can try to get as close as possible. You sometimes really don't need to weld it. Alright, and you can leave that open for now. So I'm going to hit F4 so we can look at what's going on. Looks pretty good. Yeah, looks alright. Okay, so from here, let me hit F4 again to get an overall look again. Alright, from here, you know, we can actually, we can collapse it. But I'm just going to leave it the way it is for now. I don't want to collapse it yet, because we're going to build the others separately. I'm Alt-W to the front viewport. What we're going to do now is we're going to build this handle part by polygon models. Oh, you know what else I'm going to do? Let's adjust this. Let's make sure you know, these lathes are actually looking right. So I'm going to vertex, showing results. We're going to bring some of these in a little bit. Let me go to my lathe, center this out a bit, and let's let me go ahead. I just want to make sure this is skinnier. So the way I'm going to do that is let's go to our vertexes here, and we're going to probably tuck these in slightly. There we go, just like that. And let me move that back over. And I'm double checking. I want to make sure my tops not overlap. Okay, we look fine. There we go. Alright, so like I said, the next step is we're going to build the handle, and then we're going to work on the spout. We're going to do this with polygon modeling techniques. Alright, the next step we're going to do is we're going to model this handle here. So I'm going to click on my vase. I'm not collapsing it yet, but I'm going to go ahead and right click and hide selection. Alright, so I'm going to zoom up on everything and hit my G key. Let me zoom up. Why is this not zooming up, framing up the way it's supposed to? I wonder if we have something in the scene. Oh, yes we do. That's why. There's a line in there. Alright, so I'm Zing up on everything. Alright, I'm zooming up in the front viewport, as you can see it. And I'm going to work on this handle here. And I want you to see it develop in perspective as we're going. So, I'm going to start off with a simple box. So I'm going to go standard primitives, and I'm going to lay down a box. just about like that. And I'm gonna make it about so thick, you know, yay thick right there, whatever you want to call it. So, you know, it's a simple thickness, you know, rectangle or whatever. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and prep this up, just so that's how I always do things. So I'm gonna hit M, drag my gray shader, and then, you know, I like to show my black lines. You know, in this case, just so for this demonstration, I'll go yellow lines so you can see it better. Alright, now the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to start cutting in details here. So I'm going to convert this to a poly. So we can do it from here, or right click on the box, convert editable poly. Alright, with those techniques you've been using before, the ring connect, I'm actually going to highlight through, or select like that, or you can actually just, by the way, and Z up on it. You can just click one, ring it, connect. And you should be familiar with that technique by now, the students. And so I'm going to move that over, and then I'm just going to connect once. So now you can see we have one extra edge now. And then I'm going to start shaping this out. I'm going to position that there. Let's position this slightly up. And then, you know what, let's bring this, you know what, I can add a little bit more, so I'm going to raise this up, even it out, something like that. And we'll bring that out like that. Alright, so now I'm going to take this, I'm going to take these edges across down here. Notice I got them all the way through down there. By the way, I'm hitting my G key to get rid of that grid. Or, like I said, you can just take this edge here, ring it if you need, need control of it. I'm gonna hit connect, and then that looks pretty good. I'm just gonna hit OK, and then I'm gonna take these verts, and maybe I'll raise this up a bit. This is kind of rounded off slightly, and then I'm gonna add one more. So I'm gonna come across here, or I can just hit edge, ring, connect. And you can see where my line is. I'm going to hit the check mark. Alright, now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this polygon. So I'm in polygon mode, highlighting that one. I'm just going to delete it out. So now I have a, a deleted face, an opening. Otherwise, I grab a border. Alright, now from here, I'm going to use my shift drag technique. So, it's basically edge looping. As you can see in my perspective, this is going to be growing as I walk this handle. So I'm holding down shift, dragging it, and at the same time I can use my rotate tool and just arc rotate it a bit, move tool over here, and then I'm going to grab that vert and just kind of match that up right there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the bulk of it, then we'll come back for the details. So I'm going to go shift drag. I'm going to rotate it again. I'll probably shift drag again to this point right there. I'm going to rotate it again. Now, of course, if you're used to your hotkeys, remember your W-E-R will shuffle through those. So I'm going to shift drag again, and then obviously W to rotate, or E, I'm sorry, to rotate. Eventually, you'll probably want to get used to your hotkeys. I'm going to shift drag again up here. And then we'll probably go right there. At the same time, this is starting to get skinnier. So I can scale that in slightly towards the bottom here. Because it does taper off slightly. Alright. So then I'm going to shift drag about right here. I can probably taper that up. Alright, I'm going to shift drag again. Let's rotate that, and let's go ahead and taper that just a bit. Like I said, we can always, I'm going to go ahead and shift drag again. I'm going to rotate that. And we'll go ahead and move this slightly. Remember, we can always go to our vertexes and readjust these. position the way we need them, or need be. Alright, let's go ahead and finish this off. So I'm going back to my border. It's right there. Shift drag. And let's take our vertexes, and I'm just kind of, like I said, tweaking this out. Alright, let's go back to our border again. I'm going to shift drag again, and you know what? I can rotate it from here. You know, maybe scale it in. And then check this out. I'm going to go from here, the front here. I'm going to shift drag out, and I'm going to bring this. Basically, I just duplicated that edge. You know, you don't have to get as accurate as I'm doing here, as long as you somewhat get a handle, which is fine. And then I'll probably shift drag one last time. And I'm going to rotate that. Scale it in slightly, and let's go ahead and here, I'm going to Z up on it. And then I'm just going to cap that off, just like that, which is fine. Alright, so Z up again. Now let's worry about the details here. Alright, so right here, you know, obviously we can take one edge, or I can highlight those, or if you're used to it, just grab, you know, your edge and ring it, connect, and then, you know, just hit OK. Then we got these, and these kind of taper in too, so you can actually highlight these. For example, you're seeing them right here, and I can scale that in slightly to match that. Something like that. And then, you know, of course I can take these and just kind of match them up a little bit. We'll do it again now. Edge, ring, connect, and then let's go ahead and scale that in a bit. And, you know, I may actually move these out slightly. Alright, so we're almost there. So I'm gonna grab these, ring, connect, and then I'm gonna scale those in. And I'm gonna actually grab these verts and pull them back. And we got a couple more to do. So I'm gonna, you know, grab these. And well, you know, like I said, once you're used to this, you can actually just come and grab them all at once. You know, we can connect that. So we got two of them like that, and I can actually, you know, grab those verts, scale those in slightly, and then, you know, maybe grab those, scale them in slightly, and I'm going to reposition these verts here. Something like that. We got these. Looks like we got one more little hump there. You know, if I really wanted to get detailed, I could. You know, just grab that, connect, and then I'll grab those verts I'm highlighting through and just selecting that, pulling it out. Alright, let's kind of start tucking these in. We don't have to get too accurate here. You know, if I wanted to, I can probably grab those, connect them. You know, that way I can just tuck that in just slightly. Like I said, I'm just happy if you get a handle pretty close, you know. And that looks pretty good, you know. I guess we can come down here and grab those, connect them. Oops, make sure you're in edge mode. Connect them. Alright, and then we can take those last few verts and just kind of round it off. Alright, so it looks like our handle looks pretty good. But we're going to eventually... you know, we're gonna turbo smooth a little bit and control the edges slightly. Alright. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and work with the turbo smooth on this to control our edge flow. So I'm gonna introduce you to a few new techniques. Alright, so I'm zooming up on it. I'm gonna go to my modifier list and notice it's selected. So I'll deselect it and select it again. Just let you know I got it selected. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and go to my turbo smooth, and we're going to crank this up 2 and isoline displays. Alright, notice when I smooth it out, we really have no control, and certain things we can probably get rid of, you know, like I'm gonna turn that off so you can see it as it's working. I'm gonna go to my polygon mode, and I'm just gonna grab these faces right here and delete them. Now watch when I turn on my turbo smooth. All right, slightly keeps it straight. All right, but now what we're gonna do is we're gonna chamfer a few of these edges. So first off, I'm gonna grab probably this edge right here. We're gonna grab this edge, this one, this one, probably this one. Alright, we'll probably grab all those. I think that's fine. We'll grab all those edges right there. I'm going to loop them so it loops across like that and loops all of them. Alright, and then I'm going to, here I'll zoom up, and I'm going to split these edges slightly with my chamfer. And of course I don't want them that much, so I'm going to tighten it up. That looks pretty good. And don't hit apply. That's an add, so just hit OK, check it. Alright, from there, I turn on my turbo smooth, and as you can see, you know, we kind of got that groove now. Somewhat like the spikes there. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Now we can add a little more to this. You know, I'm going to control these a little bit more. Alright, so right here, I'm going to take one edge like that. I'm going to ring it. I'm going to connect, and I'm going to slide. Right here, I'm going to slide it towards the end like that. And I'm going to hit OK. By doing that, I'm basically controlling that little area. Now, usually when you connect something, it's good to kind of grab the opposite side, connect, and then, you know, Max is pretty smart about knowing which side it's supposed to be on, so I'm going to actually slide that even closer. You don't want to overlap it or stack it on top of the edge. You just want it slightly lined up really close. I'm going to hit OK, and then turn on my turbo smooth, and as you can see, we're getting more control of that. Now the idea of sliding your edges like this is almost like a chamfer, but it, like I said, it's the cornier edges slightly, but not, you know, not to where you have a hard edge. But the further the, you know, the connect is from an edge, the rounder it'll get. So for example, let's do it right here. I'm actually going to grab this edge, ring it, and it rings all the way down. I'm going to go ahead and hit connect, and I'm going to slide this one all the way over here. Now, see how I got it really close? So if I slide that really close and hit OK, turn on my turbo smooth, you know, you can see it's got a nice, you know, hard kind of corner to it. Now, I'm going to control Z that. If I do it again, let me go back to my edge and connect. But this time I'm going to, you know, slide it further back. It being that far, it rounds off more, which is something I probably want. Alright, so now I'll do it again, but on the opposite side. So I got one, I can grab any edge right here. I'm going to ring it, connect, but slide it this way now. Somewhat similar distance to the other edge. Press OK, and then I'm going to turn this on, and there we go. We have a nice, you know, smooth handle. It works out pretty well for me. I don't know, unhide the rest, and then let's go ahead and zoom up on this and see if everything's least. It's okay if it's overlapping, because like I said, this is like probably one of these distant objects that we're not really going to focus on. I mean, if you were to put it in the scene, or even if you did do a close-up, the shadows and all that, you know, would cover all that. So I just want to make sure here that I'm centered up, you know. Obviously, that's right there. I can center this up so it's centered. Alright, looks pretty good. You know, and if you feel like maybe it's too skinny, you know, we can always grab this and just take our scale tool and on the y-axis and scale it out slightly. And let's go ahead and tuck that back in just a little bit. I want to make sure it's centered. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and, that looks pretty good so far. You know what, I'm going to go ahead and highlight all these and just hit my M key. Drag a gray shader on all of them, assign the selection. Alright, oh, which I already did that. Oh, that's fine. Alright, but now we're going to work on the last thing, which is the spout here. And just like how we did the handle, we're going to do the spout, but we're going to use a cylinder instead. So let's go ahead and I'm going to actually highlight just these guys, the center face, and hide unselected and Z up on it so we can get prepared for this. I'm going to zoom up on them slightly.